Good afternoon, Ospreys. You're watching Nest News, live from the Student Union. I'm Kara.
And I'm Laura. Coming up on today's show, Protect Diversity Education Rally,
A student town hall,
the weather,
and a sports update. Stay tuned and enjoy the show. Dozens of UNF community members stood shoulder to shoulder yelling chants and listening to speakers discuss why diversity in education is important to them on Tuesday. Here's Spinnaker's coverage of the rally.
We are hosting a rally today, and as you can see behind me, a number of students have showed up to voice their concerns about education in Florida. So what is the goal of today's protest?
So today's rally, or protest if you will, basically has two essential goals. One, to protect our academic freedom and free speech on campus, and also protect our DEI efforts at UNF.
What do you hope the outcome of today's rally will be?
We have multiple demands or goals for this outcome. One is President Lamiam publicly joins other Florida universities and just basically disavow the attacks that are currently coming from Tallahassee. We want him to maintain all existing commitments to DEI, whether it's the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, including all of its respective centers, providing safe space on campus for marginalized communities and students, and protecting the diverse critical thinking education that we supposedly have, but things like that, and protecting all faculty members.
As a student at your school, I scream, as do many other voices that ring high, protect our university, protect our education, protect our university!
Yeah! There seems to be no end to what they'll ban for their own agenda.
We love our faculty here at UNF, and while they're not able to stand with us at this rally, we fortunately had a faculty member submit a statement to anonymously present to y'all. DeSantis' office created or supported the same conditions which it is now attacking. We wonder what changed.
And next we'll march to the state if we have to. Yeah! Where will we go? We come to you, and you will listen!
Yeah! So the demands are that he be transparent and very clear with the list-making demands that the governor's office is asking him of. We're asking that he protects the diversity and inclusion offices, and that he continues to listen to the student voice.
We stand up to those who fight us. We stand up to those who stand in the way of UNF's safety. Yeah. And we stand up to those who stand in the way of history. Yeah. Dare to struggle, dare to win. Dare to struggle, dare to win. Dare to struggle, dare to win.
We want resources and we want diversity. Diversity matters in education. Without diversity, what is history? All right, before we wrap things up, does anybody in the audience wish to speak or share your thoughts about this issue?
The teacher who is asked to silence their lesson because it doesn't look good for our government.
The only thing necessary for evil to exist is for good people to do nothing.
Preach!
Preach! History will remember you poorly, along with all those who stood beside you, Ron DeSantis, both in silence and compliance.
What are you doing today here at this rally? I know you spoke earlier. What were some of the things you were saying?
Some of the things I was saying was that we cannot reduce black history to prominent figures and the basics as DeSantis would prescribe. This protest is about protesting against DeSantis' attack on diversity and inclusion, which is terrible that we even have to protest about it, but we cannot be set back by governors like DeSantis because there will be more and more people like him, but we also can't let him get into power.
I think it's important. Something that I'm glad is that there are so many students here showing support for it. It's an important issue, and that kind of education needs to be accessible in general. I think that the rally stands for a good cause.
We heard from a few speakers today, including students, past students, and alumni, who all have one shared message: stand up and fight back. Mallory Pace, Spinnaker TV.
Students confronted University of North Florida President Moaz Lamiam about campus safety, transparency, and diversity issues during a town hall meeting Thursday afternoon that began with an ask for respect and ended with outraged students. Over 50 students packed into the Talon Room on the 4th floor of the Osprey Cafe and peppered Lamiam with questions for nearly 90 minutes straight. They asked him why the university was complying with record requests from the state and whether he would protect the university community.
Looking at different ways, and I gave you a specific example. Let's say the the final version will say you cannot use state money. What will we do? To answer your question, we will find other sources of funding if the law allows that. If the law says you cannot use any source of funding, state, private, auxiliary, we have to obey by the law. That's the freedom of speech. Let's please, we promise I answer all your questions.
You said respect the student voices, correct?
Yes.
Listen to their concerns.
I am, but they can speak one at a time. I cannot listen to them if they're speaking all at the same time.
UNF is legally bound to provide public records by request as a public state university. Lamiam was adamant that he was not surrendering any information to the state, only complying with the law. Students for a Democratic Society President Lisi Morales asked Lamiam whether he would make a statement of support. At one point, students got into a shouting match with Lamiam as they expressed that they did not feel heard. Lamiam did not respond directly to them and said moving on. He later answered another student who asked the same question and said he would release a statement next week. After the meeting, he told Spinnaker that Morales' tone was, quote, disrespectful. Pushback from students about how the university is handling requests from the state is not new, and Lamiam told those in attendance that there would be more information and more town halls in the future. And now to Riley for your sports update.
Plenty of action in the wide world of UNF sports. Let's dive in. Up first, men's basketball picked up a wire-to-wire win against Eastern Kentucky on Wednesday. Not only was this a nice boost of momentum, but it also locked the Ospreys into next week's ASUN tournament. The regular season is not done just yet, though, as they take the floor again tonight against Bellarmine University. Rumor has it that an iPad is being given away, so make sure to show up and cheer on your Ospreys. Elsewhere, the UNF softball squad has gone off to a strong start. The Ospreys have opened up their season by winning 7 out of 10 games, nearly taking down the FSU Seminoles on Wednesday. They'll be back in action this weekend in the Stetson Invitational down in DeLand before returning to campus next week. Lastly, the women's tennis team will be hosting Auburn University Saturday at 11 a.m. Pizza will be available for UNF students that show up. Free food and an SEC team in town? Can't beat that. That's all I've got for you this week, Ospreys. Make sure to keep up with Spinnaker for all the latest on UNF athletics. Swoop!
Laura, did you know that yesterday was Student Press Freedom Day?
Yes, I did. Wait, it was the 5th annual Student Press Freedom Day, right?
Yes. Okay. In honor of this day, you can donate to Spinnaker through the link in the description below.
And now to Grae for your weekly weather update.
Thanks, guys. Weather is looking like a nice sunny day with a high of 86 and a low of 63. Saturday has patchy fog before 9 a.m., but after that, sunny with a high near 87. And Sunday will be as sunny as well. For next week, we've got a warmer week, mostly sunny with highs in the mid-80s all of next week. Tuesday, though, has a 20% chance of thunderstorms. And that's the weather. Back to you.
That's just about all we have for you today, Ospreys.
Remember, consider donating to support Spinnaker through the link in the description below.
For all things Spinnaker, check out our website at unfspinnaker.com.
Also, make sure to follow us on our Instagram at UNFSpinnaker and check out the rest of our YouTube for more content.
As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Laura.
And I'm Kara. We'll see you next week on Spinnaker's Nest News.